Welcome to the Funky Fossil YouTube channel. My name's Sarah Gray and I'm delighted that you've joined me for this video today where I'm going to take you through our September release, which is available in store now at funkyfossil.co.uk and is packed full of fabulous designs. I know I say it every month or every release, but I'm really excited about some of the products we've got this month. Particularly, we've got a new designer to introduce to you. And I've got lots of samples to take you through as well, to give you some inspiration and ideas. So I'm going to just jump straight into it so I don't take too long with this video, because you know how excited I can get when we've got new products to show you. And the first kind of items in this September release is our Falling for Autumn A5 clear stamp set by Donna Gray, who's a regular designer for Funky Fossil and somebody whose designs I know you absolutely love. You may have seen these already because I've been sharing and doing demos with this stamp set and some related products on the How to Craft network. So definitely check out their channel because you'll see some inspiration in using this clear stamp set. Brilliant kind of autumnal designs. Falling for Autumn probably says it all. There's a gorgeous fox, there's an owl, there's a really cute hedgehog with an apple on his back and a lovely wreath. So I found this really versatile stamp set to use, and just one where, as we're changing seasons and enjoying those rich autumnal colours, it's really lovely to use. And I'll show you some samples with that one in a second. I'll go kind of almost a bit by collection rather than necessarily just going through stamp sets and then through other items. So something that I think is very related to the Falling for Autumn stamp set is our Mellow Moments 6x6 paper pad. Again, I've been sharing designs with this on the How to Craft network. It is a gorgeous autumnal palette. Got birch trees with falling leaves, rich yellows, kind of orangey reds, some nice kind of neutral patterns, but patterns that will enable you to use them as backgrounds without them kind of competing too much with your focal points. I really am loving working with these papers. They are very much in keeping with that autumn vibe. So hopefully as I'm flicking through, you can see the variety of glorious patterns in there. There are 12 designs and 3 of each in a pad, so you've got plenty to go at there without worrying about using your favourite design and then having none of that left. I'm struggling to find places to put things. So that's Donna's stamp set and a paper pad that I think works really well with it. The next series of stamps, move that one out of the way, are for Scribble animals. These are A6 stamp sets and they've been designed for us by Maria from Mozart UK, and these are just stunning images. So if I lift the owl up closer to the camera, you can see that she's managed to capture the animal with this kind of scribbly, very loose line work, but still getting lots of stunning detail in it. So the expression of the owl really kind of shines through on this one particularly. Each of the A6 sets comes with a couple of sentiments that I think go well with that particular animal. So we have an owl in the series. We have a fox, and again, just beautiful detail coming through there. I don't know how she's managed to do it whilst kind of doing it with scribbles, if that makes sense. And then we have this adorable hare, which I love. I just love the big ears on that hare, and the eyelashes are just stunning. Wish I had eyelashes like that. So we've got the hare, it's the third one, and the fourth one is the badger, which again, I just don't think I see many stamp sets with badgers on, so I love that we've got this kind of quite a big focal image on there. And we decided to do them as A6 stamp sets because we did want each of the creatures to be sufficiently large to really kind of stand alone, whether it be home decor, mixed media, card making. These really kind of have a lot of impact on your projects. Because of the beautiful line work that Maria's put into them, then you can just stamp and go if you wish to, but they work as well on kind of inky backgrounds and lots of different kind of styles of projects. So hopefully you will enjoy creating with these. There are 4 of them, and certainly if they prove popular, then I'm sure Maria will do more in this Scribbly series for us. What I'm going to do on the shop as well is then $9.99 each, but I will do a 4 for 3. So if you really can't decide which of these glorious animals you like the best, then you'll be able to get all 4, but for the price of 3. So look out for that item on the shop. Right, let's introduce our new designer to you, because I'm super excited to say that Kim Dello is going to be creating some products for the Funky Fossil brand, and she's designing under the name Dello Design. So whenever you see Dello Designs in the shop, you'll know that Kim is the artist behind them, and she's just amazingly talented. She's very much about kind of loose, colourful art, very passionate about getting everybody to have a go, play freely, use colour in a kind of confident way. And I have always loved the way she doodles onto her projects, and these kind of, again, very very bold, very striking kind of line work. And that's what she's bringing to us, so we can incorporate this into what we make ourselves, which I just think is going to be really helpful for me, certainly with my mixed media, but equally they translate beautifully onto cards as well. So this is her A5 stamp set. It's called Make Art, and you can see that these 3 large, kind of almost like abstract leaf shapes, 2 of them packed with doodles, and the other one is an open space for you to incorporate your own line work into, or use some of the other elements into that space that you've got there in the image. And I say, just make art every day. Says it all. It's called Doodle Your Art Out, and this large kind of focal point where you've got a combination of those doodle elements, which we've separated out here, so you can compose your own if you want to extend that pattern. So this is just a stunning stamp set, and the other thing I'd say about what Kim's done here is the strength of the line work is quite solid, so easy to cut out, but equally easy to use over backgrounds that already got a lot going on, because that line work won't get lost against that colour. And I've used them quite a lot on kind of gel prints, because they're the perfect kind of stamp to use in that context. And then this is the A6 stamp set that it's not a stamp set, it's a single image that she's done for us, called Word Texture. And again, just loving the different kind of strength of the lines on this. You've got that really strong kind of abstract writing down the side, but then you get the different kind of sizes as well. So again, it's a kind of very forgiving stamp that you can just use as background on your projects. Not to worry about how precise or prominent it is, because it's just going to add more to what you're already working on. Excuse me. So they're the 2 stamps that Kim has designed for us, and then we've got 2 stencils that go with that. We've got Scallop Corner, which you can see, hand-drawn scallops, beautiful kind of free-flowing there, and yeah, again, you'll see from some of the samples, a great combination with the stamps. And then we've got the abstract leaf shapes from the stamp set, made slightly larger and made into kind of apertures. I've also incorporated the masks for you, so whether you're using them on your gel press or whether you want to do your own doodling into the shapes you've got there, you know that they're going to correspond really nicely with what's in the stamps. So they're the designs for us by Kim. She's got more fabulous designs on the way, and I really think this is a great kind of extension of what we already offer. I don't have any other designer that creates quite in the way that Kim does, so I'm really privileged that she's agreed to work with us. Let me move on to some dies. And I've got 2 die sets here, which I'm showing you together because they've got a similar kind of line art style to them. Let me start with this one. This one's called Tree Line. And you can see here, you've got your solid base layer, and then you've got your overlay, which is the lines of the trees to give them more definition. Use them separately, use them together. These just work brilliantly. And of course, can be any season because, you know, the colours you use on the trees will give you the context. So again, samples will show you how versatile the design team have found these to be. And then in a similar vein, we've got Country View, and this is a single die, which I wanted to bring out really to provide you with that kind of ready-made landscape or background, whether it be the Falling for Autumn creatures or other characters you have. But it's just a really lovely one that helps you build up a scene really quickly, and you can snip into it. You could just use the kind of one layer and take that hill out in the background, use it however you like. Of course, will work really nicely with Tree Line as well, but they are 2 separate dies. So this is Country View, this is Tree Line. Oh, I'm losing my voice today. Then another kind of mini bundle, and I'm calling them bundles only because as I put them together, in my head these products went together. They are available separately on the shop, so they're not necessarily in a bundle configuration for you to buy. We've got an A7 stamp set here, which is called Home, and you can see beautiful kind of really stylized, solid little kind of folk houses, which is just lovely. They're really great for kind of clean and simple cards or something with quite a graphic look to it. You stamp them out in a rainbow shades or use it as a black silhouette. They're really kind of sweet stamps, and I like them so much that I've also done some dies, which are again called mini houses, and there are 8 dies in this set. Again, star details in their hearts, slightly different sizes, so I think they range from about 1.5 centimeters to 4 centimeters in height. So you could create a little street with them or use them as individual icons, and then the word home there as well. And then 2 stencils that I thought would work well with these particular kind of dies and stamps is In the Neighbourhood. So you can see, I think self-explanatory, lots of little houses there in a similar style, blocked images. And then I've got this large single kind of aperture, which is, I think I've called it Our House. So a very simple shape. Of course, you've got the mask element as well that you can use if you want to work around the shape and leave that as a clear space on your project. And it is a simple shape. It's just a lovely one to work in. And I think always having it in a kind of Mylar stencil template gives you that versatility to use it in different ways. So those 2 stencils, the mini houses dies and the A7 stamps. And then we're on to our final collection of this release, which takes us back again really to that kind of that autumnal vibe that we started with Falling for Autumn. And this is a collection by Zinsky Art by Eleanor, which as always is just stunning. So I'll start with the papers and then we'll go into the stamps. So obviously we've got the usual formats of 8x8 and 6x6 on the paper pad. I'll flick through the 6x6, it's a bit easier to maneuver. Full of Eleanor's fabulous artwork, again in an autumnal palette. You've got teacups, you've got kind of abstracts, jars here with that wonderful space in the middle, which makes it easy to add your focal points. She just does autumn in a very kind of abstract and vibrant way, really. So this is kind of a whole kind of collection of books falling down, gorgeous birds here. So yeah, look at these wine bottles. They're fabulous, aren't they? I mean, you could cut those out and use them in their own right on a project. So yeah, she's captured autumn, but in her own unique style. And this one, I love this page with the leaves and the trees. Again, just enough going on to make it really interesting, but also to give you space to add your own layers to it. And this one here has got all these kind of different names of teas in around the edges of it. yes, this is one of those papers that the more you look at it, the more you'll find little elements that either you want to cut out and collage, or you know, will give you that kind of extra something on your project. So this is 6x6, and as I say, there's an 8x8 as well. And to continue the theme for this collection, so the theme that Eleanor and I were working on with this one is really much those kind of cozy days, that turning into autumn, where you've got the darker nights. It's a bit chilly outside. You're looking for that kind of hot cup of tea, that kind of warming foods. And she came up with this fantastic stamp set. This has got to be one of my favourites actually by Eleanor for us, which is called Cozy Kitchen. And you've got kind of kettles, you've got pots and pans, you've got the most adorable kind of potato, carrot and onion with faces on, because of course, why wouldn't they have faces? This is just a beautiful A5 stamp set. So good size images. You can immediately see how well it will work with the papers too. And then she's given us an A6 stamp set, which is a great accompaniment to Cozy Kitchen, but can also work independently as well. This is called Spice It Up. And so we've got a kind of a larger stamp here with all kind of names of spices. We've got a row of spice jars. And so, yeah, it works well with, but equally, if you know somebody who really loves their cookery, then this is a kind of great background builders that would work independently. And there's an A7 by Eleanor as well for this release. It's called Jar, imaginatively by me. But I wanted to separate the jar out and make it a sufficient size that you can put elements in it and use it with other things that you have. So it's got obviously the quirky details to it, but the intention is that it's big enough to really kind of be a frame for other stamps. And then Eleanor has also put together 2 stencils to go with this general theme. So she's got Red Hot, so there's chili images, and obscured there by the sticker, but there's the word chili. So again, work perfectly. And I don't think I've seen a stencil with chilies on, so there you go. And then she's also put together the stencil called Farmer's Market, which obviously has kind of words on it, which are again great for backgrounds, great for just separating out individual words and using those. And also you've got that lovely kind of border as well, so you could use that independently if you wanted to and put it all the way around a project. So that is all of the stamps, stencils and dies I've got for you this month. The final item just to share with you, and it's not very camera friendly really, is we also have an MDF village kit that is going to be on sale, or is on sale, and it's just fantastic. So it's made up of the kind of a triple base that you stick together just to give you some substance. It's about, I want to say about 27-28 centimeters long, about 11 centimeters wide, and then you've got all of the trees and houses and overlays to create a fantastic kind of piece of home decor. And rather than me unload a lot of MDF on the desk here, let me just show you a couple of examples. It's only a couple because I couldn't fit more in here with me, but I do have more brilliant samples to show you. So here, for example, is one that I have done, which is literally just painted in white and grey with a few red elements on it to give a bit of a Christmassy vibe, a bit of stenciling. And as you'll see, these let's get one out. These elements can be kind of, they're all tabbed. All of the tabs are the same size, so you can configure this village or these kind of series of MDF shapes in any way that you want to, or move them about as you wish. So all of those things just give you the opportunity to kind of layer it up as you would like to. So that's kind of my slightly more, I suppose, more wintry, Christmassy looking one. And then I have one here that Jane from our design team has put together, and she's created a fabulously, I'm hoping I can show this to a decent degree, I'm kind of having to tip it up, She's created a fabulously kind of Halloween style one in really rich reds and blacks and purples. And there is a separate, in the shop, there's a separate kind of Halloween embellishment set to really kind of use with the base shape. So got bats and cobwebs, a cobweb overlay for the tree, black cat, a cauldron, a witch, etc. So if you want to dress your village up in a more Halloween style, then we've got a separate set of embellishments that enable you to do that in MDF. And then the final one I'll just show you now. So I do have more, but I was kind of got so much stuff on the table. I didn't have room for others. This one here has been decorated for me by Laura from the design team, and Laura's really kind of gone full on autumnal and woodland here. So she's got leaves and pumpkins and kind of images stenciled onto the houses and trees, gone with that autumnal colour palette, and she's got some woodland animals kind of filling out her scene as well. So hopefully you can see just from those 3 examples alone how versatile this kit is. I really hope you like it. If it's something that you want me to do a bit of a YouTube video on, just to show how I decorate and put it together, then I'm more than happy to do so. It's very, very simple. It's one of those where it's literally a paint and go job. There's not lots of detailed construction to do to bring it together. So that was the MDF element. Let me get to some samples, and I will try and be quick because I do know that I'm kind of rabbiting on, but sometimes samples don't always get the kind of the airtime or the focus that I'd like them to. So I do like to be able to share some inspiration with you. I'm going back to the beginning of the video here in terms of the Falling for Autumn set, and I've only got a couple of samples of these with me because I've left the rest of them in the How to Craft Network studio. So say that they're all there, and you'll be able to see those on the programs I've done for them this month. So this one is a gorgeous sample by Jane. She's used the Mellow Moments papers, and again lots of the kind of stamped elements from Falling for Autumn by Donna. So isn't that just fantastic? And then she's used some stenciled words as well. It's just a beautiful project, that really gorgeous. So yeah, really showcasing the papers and the stamps beautifully, how well they work together. And I've got a super cute card from Samantha. She's just it's a real kind of dinky little craft notelet. She's focused on the cute hedgehog and the leaves, and she's cut the leaves up to create that kind of layered autumn fall for our little hedgehog. I love that one. Here's a card that I'm going to be making in studio at the How to Craft Network, which is showcasing the tree line die set, showcasing the Mellow Moments papers and the Falling for Autumn stamps as well. So a fantastic combination there. You really kind of will be able to work these products together to create different looks. And a final one, which I'm also going to make, fingers crossed, time permitting, in the How to Craft Network studio, is this card here, where obviously I've made almost like a patchwork of the papers from Mellow Moments along with the wreath from Falling for Autumn. So they are all the samples I have of that stamp set, but that's because, say, they're all somewhere else, and hopefully you've been able to catch glimpses of them elsewhere and online. If you check out our Facebook group, the design team post in there regularly with their makes. So have a look at the Scribble animals now, and I've got more samples than I can really kind of show you in a video. So I am kind of selecting a few of each just to give you a feel for the different styles that the design team have adopted. Here is one by Alicia, and this is Scribble Fox, and she's in a lovely kind of watercolory background for him, but left the fox himself in a kind of black and white, and you can see how beautifully that line work stamps out. And then Laura has coloured the owl in her design, but then used some stencil and stamping in the background, so you've got a kind of really kind of cool vibe there going on behind him. And then I think this is Laura. I'm not sure, but she's simply stamped the badger in black and white, and then she's kind of mounted him onto the Cozy Days paper pad by Eleanor, and fab combo there. And I think this is Laura as well, so she's stenciled behind the hair here, so you've got that kind of slightly abstract colour going on behind it. So you can see they really do, you don't need to do a lot to them to get a really kind of fabulous project. And I've stamped the owl and the hare here onto just little A6 craft notebooks, really cheap notebooks, but I've added some of the Cozy Days papers to the front and back, and then just allowed the stamped image at the front to do all the work. When you colour in the eyes on the owl, I just think it looks really striking. And then I've got the books behind the owl because I thought that would be in keeping with the wise owl. And then a final one from me is a different version of the owl, but I've gone in for kind of blues here because I was imagining it at night. So we've got our layered moon stencil in the background, and just some lovely kind of blues to kind of give you that kind of nighttime feel. So there, some scribble animals for you to see. And then we've got a bundle of the home, so the houses designs, and I think these samples give you a really good feel for how you can kind of go really clean and simple. So I think it's, I'm not sure who it is. It's, yeah, this is Laura. She just cut them out of pattern paper, used on a white background, created a lovely note. Look, new home, fantastic. So the pattern in the paper is doing all the work there, but it's really cast design, clean and simple. And then Alicia's done a much more kind of mixed media looking one. She's got washi tape, she's got the stencil here, texture paste behind, and some background stamping. But then the stamps on this occasion work really crisply in the black over the top. And then here we have one from Laura where I think she's used the dies and then kind of done clear emboss them and set them back into the apertures. So it kind of almost looks like they've been enamelled. It's a really, really cute card. So using dies. And then here's another sample. This one's from Jane, I think. But again, tree line in white, and then the home dies in a really kind of lovely silver. So you can see how, again, these things work together. And Jane's used the aperture, the big aperture house stencil here, and put the country view dies in it. So again, you can see how that pops in black against the colours. Ink blending's perfect there, isn't it, in those rich colours. And this is Jane. Jane loved this set, I think. And she's kind of created another kind of really beautifully clean and simple design. These are I think they're the stamps, actually. These are the stamps. And just having that kind of blue behind them with a few stars. We were saying online it could be a Christmas card as much as a new home card, but it's really kind of atmospheric. It's a bit like a snow globe, doesn't it? And this is Jane again, I think, and she has used the country view, so it's all lovely kind of crisp white, and she's paper pieced back in with some embossed paper with the kind of dots on, so it looks a bit snowy, and then just those die cut elements in a different colour really pops. Here's one that I've done, which is using that kind of the houses in the background, the house stencil in the neighbourhood with texture paste to get white on white. And then we've got the dies there and the stamps. So just that kind of white, red and craft is a lovely, lovely kind of folky look to it. And then here we've got the, I've used the stencil aperture as a template just to cut out a little card. And I've used some paper. This is our white magic paper over the top of that shape, and some stamping as well. So lovely, really cute Christmas cards. But again, new home cards would be perfect. And a last one on home, this one's for me, is just a rainbow of the houses, and then I've just kind of clear embossed the home just to give it a slightly more dimension. Really, really simple cards, but I just think these dies or the stamps, whichever you use, give you a really kind of clean focal point. And then where are we now? We're at, let's go with Kim's designs now. So we've got the make art and the word texture from Kim Dello, and this one's by Laura. She's used a jelly printed background and then just kept the stamping black and white, but she's used the word texture in the background there. I think you can see what I mean about these working brilliantly with vibrant colours. And this one is by Alicia, and she's stamped and cut out the leaves, really easy shapes to cut out, which makes it great. And she's obviously got kind of lots of colour in the leaves, and then layered them up on her card. I'm calling them leaves, they don't need to be leaves. I think this might be Alicia, it could be Laura, apologies whichever one of you it is. I think a gel printed background there, and then heat embossed the focal images in silver, so that gives you a lovely pop. And then Jane, who wouldn't describe herself as somebody who does mixed media, she just clean and simple brilliantly, and she's just demonstrating how you can really make it your own by just using that kind of doodle element in the centre of a card and adding just a touch of colour. And then I think this is Jane. When I say they don't need to be leaves, Jane's used the kind of scallop stencil and the abstract leaves stencil here to make them fish, which I think is just fabulous, and then a bit of stamping around the edges. So yeah, just use them in whatever way kind of speaks to your imagination. And the final set of samples that I just want to talk you through quickly is the Cozy Days collection from Eleanor. So you'll see a mix of the different bits of that collection here. So we've got the jar and from the A7 stamp, we've got the papers, we've got the Spice It Up jars in the background here, and the carrot or the chili, as it could be, I guess, from the A5 stamp set. So that's a really fabulous card by Jane. And then Jane saw the onion as like mini pumpkins and has made this kind of really fun Halloween card. I just think that's really, really cool, really kind of creative way of using that one stamp. Here we have from Alicia, no, actually this one's a Laura, I think, fabulous kind of inky background, and then she's kind of got all the different elements just working together and kind of almost like chatting to each other on the card. I think this one's Alicia, I know this one is Alicia. And she's got the potato and onion cozying up in the big pot, and I think that's a really sweet card. The colouring is brilliant on that, and the background is really lovely. And then Alicia again has got the kettles and coffee jugs here with the fancier brew, and she's got Farmer's Market there behind in the background, just really subtly and soft. So lovely colours there, kind of not colours you'd necessarily expect to see, but they work brilliantly. And then we have an Alicia again. She's got the background papers and the jar, and you can see how all the little jar elements in the papers will echo that A7 stamp. And I'm not sure who this, I think it might be Jane. I'm saying that because it's got that nice white space, and Jane's used the kind of one of the papers with the teacups with the kettle from the A5 stamp set. So again, really clever the way that paper's offset. And the final one I'm just going to show you from Eleanor's collection is again by Jane, papers in the background, the chili stencil there, creating a really kind of funky pattern behind the jar. So you can see how often the design team have been using the jar as a way of kind of creating the focal point for their cards. Blimey, I'm out of breath from talking so much there. I hope I didn't gallop through too quickly, but there's just so much gorgeousness, and the design team always do such an amazing job with their with their kind of fabulous samples and all the inspiration they bring us. So they do share it all on the Our Funky Fossil Facebook group. And so if you're not already part of that group, then you'd be very welcome to join. We'd love to see you there, even if it's just to see what the samples that get made. But equally, if you'd like to share anything you make with our products, we'd love to see that too. I hope you like this release. Say it's available now in store at funkyfossil.co.uk. You can see some of the Falling for Autumn designs that I've done on How to Craft Network for more live inspiration. And I will certainly be back over the course of the next few weeks with ideas and samples. I've already got some lots of ideas that I know I won't be able to get into my show on Create and Craft. So I will certainly be filming them and sharing them with you on this channel. Please do like and subscribe if you haven't already, and it'd be great if you could share this video as well to anybody who you think might be interested in our release. Spread the word, and I shall leave you with that, and thank you for watching. I will see you again soon. In the meantime, have fun crafting away, and I look forward to seeing what you make. Bye for now.